All right, everybody. This is Clint Arthur, and I am here to view the post on Facebook. Yeah, I want to view this post on Facebook. Why not? I am here with Dave Nassaney, also known on television as Dave Nassaney. We are here, as you can see, at CNN Center, the world headquarters of the CNN broadcast empire in Atlanta, Georgia, where Celebrity Launchpad is going to be beginning later this evening. And what I wanted to do for you all today, everyone who's watching, is I wanted to give you a preview of what is possible. If you really have aspirations to become somebody and make it happen, what is possible? Because this young man right here, this very handsome young man, he says to me, he signs up for Celebrity Launchpad, and he says, who is the person who... and by the way, do you want to Facebook Live this on your own channel?
Sure.
Do you have?
I can just share it.
You could share it.
I can share it.
All right. But this young man, he signs up for Celebrity Launchpad, and he's like, has anybody ever booked themselves on television before even coming to Celebrity Launchpad? And I said, as a matter of fact, yes. There was Liat Gat, the knitting girl, and she booked herself on 3 TV appearances before coming to Celebrity Launchpad. And in fact, she was late on the first day because she was on television on Fox 5 Las Vegas. And that's so far the best we've had. And he goes, well, I'm going to book myself on 10 shows. And I'm like, oh yeah, right. This mild-mannered, honestly, you were kind of milquetoast. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm an introvert by nature.
He's introverted by nature. And you notice I'm talking loud. I want you to talk loud,
right.
Okay? So, because that gives you more energy. But he's like, I'm going to book myself on 10 shows. And I'm like, okay, good. Well, I encourage that. I think that's fantastic. And I'm all for it. If you want to do it, please do it, And by the way, those of you who are watching, I see there's a bunch of you out there. Vivian and Rick Barker. Oh, hey, Rick Barker. And Rob Christensen. Hey, Rob. Good to see you. And Kim Highfield. Good to have you with us. And Ben Bragg. Hey, good to have you. And Anthony David Adams. And if you would share this with anybody, if you would share this with anybody who's an entrepreneur, an author, a speaker, a coach, somebody who has a message that they want to get out into the world, because what this is really all about is getting your message out. That's what Ali always says. We help you get your message out. Now, to me, I think that's funny, but it seems to resonate with a lot of people, and that's what we help you do. So if you would share it, hey Marianne, good to have you here. If you guys would share it, I'm just going to get my phone and start doing a little stuff too.
I've got 3 bars. There we go.
All right, good. So what this is all about is getting your message out, and I know there's a lot of magic messengers on here, people who have already been through Celebrity Launchpad. This will be a great Facebook Live for you, because here's a guy, he hasn't even been to Celebrity Launchpad yet. He's here at CNN Center for this weekend's Celebrity Launchpad, which is going to be beginning tonight with the webinar. Yeah. But he hasn't even been. And how many shows have you already been on, Dave Nassaney or Nassaney, whichever you prefer?
Lucky 13.
13 appearances.
And my 14th is scheduled on Pearl Harbor Day, December 7th. In Fresno, California, number 55.
A fine day to go on TV in Fresno, I can assure you.
I wouldn't answer the phone. I had to actually drive to Fresno and bang on the door to get them to. She goes, "Oh, I must have gone through the cracks or something."
Seriously?
Yeah.
You banged on the door?
I did. They let me in. They buzzed me in, and then they looked at me and they says, "Oh, I thought you were somebody else. You have to leave the building now." I says, "But I'm here to see so-and-so." And she says, "I'm sorry, you have to leave." I says, "Well, here, give her my card. I've been calling. I've been leaving messages." And the next day, I get an email from this woman for the first time, and she says, "I'm so sorry. I must have missed your email. When can we schedule you?" So if it doesn't work, if the phone calls don't work, if the emails don't work, if the voicemails don't work, go down there and knock on the door.
You're not the first person to do that. You're the second person that I know who's done that.
Oh, who's the first?
The first person who did that, she was from Phoenix, Arizona. Gosh, this was a long time ago. I mean, she did that back in 2012. 5 years ago. 5 years ago.
I just want you to know, I didn't make a special drive. I was in the neighborhood visiting my wife's aunt.
Well, this woman didn't make a special drive either. She was appearing on another TV station in the same. She actually appeared on 2 TV stations in the same city that day, and she knocked on the door of the third TV station. This was in Yuma, Arizona, and she says, "Hi. I just was on TV on ABC and NBC, and I figured since I was in the city on a special trip just to appear on TV, I wanted to share this message with your audience too. If you have any airtime that I could help you fill." And
should have done that in South Carolina.
She was on TV. Yeah, she was on TV. Look, if you are on TV, this is one of the first teaching points, and I'm going to get a pad and paper because we're going to be loading these people up with teaching points today. So I'm going to get a pad and paper so I don't miss out on them myself.
So talk amongst yourselves.
Keep entertaining them, Dave.
This is the first time I've seen Clint either not in a bathrobe or not in a tie. So but he is wearing pink.
I chose this outfit.
Signature pink.
I chose this outfit.
This is your
I'm expanding
casual business outfit.
I'm expanding my celebrity costume options. But for Facebook Live, for the casualness of Facebook Live. So the first teaching point is that when you are in a city, hustle your celebrity. That's first of all. Hustle. Number one is hustle. Here's a guy. He's like in Fresno, and he's been trying to get the people on the phone. And what did you say to the lady when, did you mention that you've been booked on all these shows? What was exactly? Tell us about how it went when you knocked on the door of which affiliate was it? ABC, NBC, CBS?
It was NBC.
NBC. You knock on the door of the NBC.
KC.
He knocks on the door of the NBC affiliate in Fresno, and what exactly, how does it go?
Well, they buzzed me in by accident. And she says, "Oh, we were expecting someone else. I'm sorry. You have to leave the building now. This is a secure facility."
It's always very secure. No, it's serious. I mean, this happened to me when I was in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm on this show, and they're previewing Dr. Oz. On the Dr. Oz show that day was the 700-pound woman. Okay? And they keep previewing, and then I do my segment, and then I'm leaving. And as I'm crossing the lobby towards the doors, and once you go through the door, that's it, because it's a secure environment.
The airport.
You can't come back. It's just like the airport, exactly. And I'm crossing the lobby, and who do I see out of my corner of my eye? I see a woman who looks like she must weigh 350, 400 pounds. Not 700, but 350 to 400. And I get to the door, and I'm literally standing with my face against the glass, about to push the bar to go out the secure door. And I'm thinking to myself, is that the 700-pound woman? The one who was on Dr. Oz? And I'm like, it's gotta be. I mean, who the hell else could it possibly be? And then I think to myself, well, if that's really the 700-pound woman on Dr. Oz, I should go get a selfie with her. She's a celebrity. And then I think to myself, do I want a selfie with the 700-pound woman? How's that going to help me? How does that serve my ego? I'm thinking this. Really, I'm sharing my innermost thoughts with you guys. How does that serve me to have a photo with a 700-pound woman? Really? Is that going to help me? And then I thought, you know what? She's a celebrity. I get celebrity photos. Every celebrity I meet, I get photos with the celebrity. I do. So I go over to the lady, and she's on a little scooter, right? She's on a scooter. And I say, excuse me, are you the person who was on Dr. Oz? And she goes, why, yes, I am the person who was on Dr. Oz. And I said, could I get a photo with... I said, no, first I said, I didn't hardly recognize you. And she goes, I know, I've lost over 300 pounds since I was on Dr. Oz. See, she was committed to changing her life. That's why she went on TV. That's what we do. We go on TV because we want to change our lives, because we want to improve. Have you been improving? He's been improving.
Everyone tells me I look different, I walk different, I sound different, so it must be true.
It is true.
I look different. I'm looking at myself on the screen, and I says, that doesn't look like me.
Yeah, you're like, who is that guy? Right. So,
and some of my fans, they're
say hello.
Hello. So we're sharing on both our pages.
Yeah,
cool.
Good.
Hi, Fran.
Hey, Fran, welcome.
From I think you're from Idaho. No, South Bend. Never mind. Gonna get it wrong.
All right. So I say to the lady, well, can I get a photo with you? Yes. She goes, I go, can I get a photo with you? She goes, she turns to her friend. She goes, did you hear? He wants a picture with me. Nobody's ever asked me for a picture before. So I got my picture with the 700-pound lady, and I'll try to show that to you.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, I use it in a lot of my presentations because there's a lot of lessons in that story, a lot of nice lessons. But anyway,
I'm going to be on Dr. Oz one day.
You are?
Yes.
Are you proclaiming that?
Absolutely.
That's teaching point number 2. You know, is pick a goal and proclaim your goal.
30% of caregivers die before their loved ones do. Why wouldn't he want me on?
Hell yeah. Caregiving, the Dr. Oz show, I'm sure, is watched by tons.
It's a perfect match.
You are going to be on Dr. Oz.
Absolutely.
And if anybody on Dr. Oz show is watching this, he's going to be ready for you soon. Just like Tracy Herbert was ready for you. Tracy Herbert came to Celebrity Launchpad. Let me ask you this. Have you watched the videos in the members area of the Celebrity Launchpad members area?
Of course, you told me to.
Okay. How many of them have you watched?
All of them.
All of them. All of them. That's another thing nobody does.
I thought it was strange. You says, at the very minimum, watch these. And I says, what do you mean? Watch all of them.
I agree. When I'm a student and I pay a lot of money to go to a class, Celebrity Launchpad is not cheap. It's a tremendous value, but it's not cheap. It requires, I believe that as a coach, as a consultant, you must charge your clients a lot of money if you want them to get great results. Because the ones who don't pay a lot of money or who negotiate you, way back, we had a couple people negotiate us when we were like $7,500. And they would say, well, I only want to pay $5,000. And we took them. Those guys always got bad results. Never, ever negotiate with a coach or a consultant on price. Price is the wrong thing to negotiate.
Get what you pay for.
You can negotiate other things. You can negotiate special treatment, special service, blah, 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 lots of things, but never negotiate the price. It's a bad thing. All right, so Tracy Herbert came to Celebrity Launchpad. She watched every video. How about the behind-the-scenes videos? Have you watched those?
I got the most out of those. Because it's a little nerve-wracking being in the green room and just freaking out, moments before you go on the air. But you show us that, do your vocal exercises. It's like you're about to sing a song. You go la 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 and stuff like that, and it just takes away the intimidation. And I just thought of you.
Good.
And I love the way you just say, and always smile. I see that face and my teeth come out. Just great.
Yeah, well, smiling that's going to be number 3, smile, okay? A lot of good notes. I mean, really, guys, the stuff that we talk about, it seems easy. It really does seem easy, but I've already got 3 big notes right here. Hustle your celebrity. So when you're in town, knock on a door and say, hey, I've been on 12 TV appearances recently, and I'd love to come on your show. That's called hustling your celebrity. Next, pick a goal and proclaim it. He's already picked that he's going to be on Dr. Oz, and he's been here on a live Facebook Live broadcast proclaiming that he's going to be on Dr. Oz. That's exactly what Tracy Herbert did. Yeah. She came to Celebrity Launchpad. She watched all the videos. She did all the training. How about fourth talking point, which is when you pay for training, do the actual training. That's, it seems common sense, but it's not. Do the work. How about that? Do the work. And by the way, can I get a thumbs up? I just want to make sure you guys are hearing us loud and clear and you're seeing us loud and clear. Can we get some thumbs up? Can we get some hearts? If you can see us loud and clear, if you can hear us loud and clear, can we get some hearts or thumbs up? I would really appreciate it. I just want to make sure everybody's getting a good feed. Is that good? Anybody? Yes, Vivian, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, good. Yeah, all right, so do the work. How about when and you think this would be like common sense, but for some reason, actually doing the work is not common sense. People, they just want to show up. They don't want to do anything. They want the guru to do it all for them. And I do a lot. I do a lot for my clients. I get it. And that's why I said, hey, at the very minimum, you need to watch these videos.
Because you go over and above the call of duty.
You think so?
Yeah. You get, 110%. Thank you. You do stuff you don't have to do.
I definitely do. I definitely do.
The sun is coming in behind us.
We're okay. We're okay. It'll be gone soon. But I like to respond when people are really taking initiative. This guy goes out and starts booking himself. He's booked 14 appearances.
I told you I was going to do 10. I said, how many do I have to do to go to Chicago during the Caregiver Conference? You said, well, at least 10. I said, okay, I'll do it.
When is the Caregiver Conference?
It already passed.
Okay.
My wife wouldn't let me go because I've been away too long.
He's been away too long. Why?
Because I'm on television.
Because he's been on TV all this time. All right, good.
As her reward, we're going to Hawaii for a month in January for my birthday. So
that's fantastic. That's a great reward.
It is.
All right.
For me, too.
Well, look, I went above and beyond for this man because this man went above and beyond. He shattered all records. He booked himself on 14 shows before even having any training in person from me, just off my
But the videos.
Videos.
Good enough.
Talk about the videos.
What you gave us was good enough.
Tell them about the videos. What's in the videos?
You gave us videos of actually pitching the producers, so that was very helpful. Then you gave us videos of behind the scenes of what it takes after you're booked and what to do to prepare. Just go over it again and again and again so that you're not saying and and having brain farts. Just know your stuff. Practice and practice and practice until you can say it in your sleep blindfolded. And so the videos were very, very helpful. You shared your Rolodex and what else? Those two things were enough to give me the information. I am an introvert, but I'm a good copycat. So I'm just copying you. I'm pretending I'm you. Seems to be working.
Okay, and then, look, in all fairness, there was a missing piece of this whole thing, which he has not talked about, and that is the live coaching webinars. And I do a live coaching webinar every single week. I've done one since October of 2012. I have not missed 1 week. I've been live on a live coaching webinar every week since 2012.
And I've been on them all except when I was on, a meeting at my television station.
The only reason he wasn't on the webinars was because he was either traveling or doing something like a book signing related to his book tour, which he just did in conjunction with his media tour. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Look, doing these webinars for me is fantastic. It's really helped me to grow as a coach. It's really helped me to grow as a speaker, as a performer. It's been a tremendous thing. And the discipline of showing up week after week after week, that's also been really good. But nonetheless, it's really magic for the clients, for the students, if you can just take initiative like Mr. Dave Nassaney has. Because he showed up on a webinar, and what did you say the first time I talked to you on the webinar, Dave?
I said, I can't seem to get through here. And he says, well, did you do the pitch that I told you? And he said, well, I tweaked it a little, to make it more like my personality. and you slap me around. He says, no, do as I say. Put it all back the way it was. And so I did. And all of a sudden, I started getting calls. Every 10 producers I would call, I would seem to get a booking. And you told me, because 30, right? I had to call 30 to get one. And so that prepared me. Okay, I'm going to be prepared for a lot of no's. But I was 3 times better.
Okay, so Vivian Gaspar is asking for booking secrets. What do you think the biggest secret is of booking yourself on TV? What's the most important thing if you want to book yourself on TV?
Believe in your message. Believe that they would be an idiot if they didn't book you.
Believing in your message. Okay, let's break that down because that's easier said than done, right? I mean, you believed in your message the first week when nobody would answer your calls, right?
That's true.
Okay. All right. So what are the components that enable you to, I mean, really, you got to think about it. I really want you to think about it. What is the number one thing you need to do to book yourself on shows?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
It's the confidence, like you said. I love what you said about, I called a producer in New York one time, and I asked him, or he asked me a question, and here's what happened. Click. And he talked about the 1 second.
The New York second.
The New York second.
New York second.
And so it's true. I had to learn how to talk fast. I had to practice my pitch. Hey, you're the one who books the shows, So, I said it wrong right there. Because you can't even hesitate 1/2 a second. You just got to act like a professional and just let it all come out. And that takes a lot of practice. And I haven't booked shows in a couple of weeks. So, see, even not saying that line for 2 weeks made me hesitate.
Okay, so he just gave you 3 nuggets right there. He said, number one, the first thing he said was, talk fast. Then he said, you have to be professional. Those are 2 different things. They're really important. And the third thing he said was you have to practice. There's so much coming at you right now. Those of you who've been through Celebrity Launchpad, tremendous refresher material going across the Facebook Live here, okay? But he said you have to talk fast. Now, how do you get to talk fast, Dave? Practice.
And I have a script. You can cheat when you're on the phone because they don't see that you're reading it. So you got to read it like you're not reading it.
Okay, there's another one. 8, script. All right, now this is a super powerful one. I'm putting a big star next to number 8, script. Because a lot of people, they don't want to do the work required to create a script. They just don't want to do it. That's too much work. That is just too much work.
Successful people do what unsuccessful people are unwilling to do.
That's true. Successful people will do what other people who are not successful are unwilling to do. But if you want to be a professional speaker, and speaking on TV is pretty professional level speaking. Not everybody gets to go on TV. Not everyone on TV is professional. Not everyone is advanced in their speaking. But if you really want to be serious about it, like if you want to think about coming to Celebrity Launchpad, you need to be a professional in your approach. And one of the key steps of being a professional speaker is scripting. Preparing what you want to say and thinking about it, editing what you want to say, practicing, rehearsing, formatting it, arranging it, putting it in the logical order that you want. All of that goes into preparing a script. And a lot of people don't want to do that. That's a lot of work. That is definitely a lot of work.
Every single anchor of the shows that I've been on, they're scripting. They've got the teleprompter going. So they don't even know what they're doing. They're just following the script that somebody gave them.
They're just reading off the teleprompter.
If they can do it, they can do it.
That's all they're doing. Well, look, they're professional teleprompter readers. That's what they are. They just read stuff. And Rough Cut Rollins says a script is lengthy and hard to do. Knowing a format or using a template helps overcome that obstacle, in my opinion.
Clint helps write the script.
I write the scripts for my clients because I know what should be in a TV segment, and I know what should not be in a TV segment. And there's a lot of stuff that should not be in a TV segment. There's a lot of stuff that should not be in a TV pitch. Isn't that right, Dave?
Yeah.
And what happened was he put a lot of stuff into the pitch that had no business being there. It was just getting in the way. And it all had to get removed, and it had to get adjusted into something that was going to get booked. Because you need to sound like a professional.
Yeah. You took the X-Acto knife and you just took out all the clutter.
Yeah. There's no room for extra words. No extra words. Let's put that in script. No extra words. Well, we already have 8 talking points, and all we were doing was scratching the surface. I mean, that's really all we've done right now is scratch the surface of what it takes to book yourself on TV. And we're going to keep going. So what would you say after these items, what would be the next idea that would come to mind as far as booking yourself on TV? What is required?
Well, I know that each time I do it, it gets easier and easier. And then it snowballs, it magnifies. It's like the law of multiplication. Because now I can say, I've been on ABC in South Carolina, I've been on CBS in Palm Springs, and it just builds credibility. And it's like they're saying, wow, maybe you should be on my show too. Okay, so that is also hustling your celebrity when you say, I've been on this show, I've been on that show, I've been on the other show. That's displaying your credibility and your bookability on all of this. However, that also talks about number 9, which is make the calls. Yeah. And make the calls when you have to make the calls. I'm on the West Coast, so a lot of the calls I had to make at 1 and 2 in the morning. And fortunately, I'm a night owl, so I could do that. But for those of you who are not night owls, that means you got to get up at like 3 or 4 in the morning, one or the other, because that's when they're there. And you got to get them before the show. If you get them after the show, they're too busy producing it. And so call and be disciplined. And you don't want to drag yourself out of bed. There were many times I did not want to drag myself out of bed when I was doing the morning calls, but I just did it. And the rest of the day, I was kind of sleepy, but, it was worth it because I got the bookings.
All right. So I heard here, make the calls. And then I heard him say, be disciplined about making these calls. Hey, how many days of work did this take?
Well, the whole process was about a month. And I worked maybe 4 or 5 days a week, because fortunately they're off on weekends. I can be off on weekends too. And I would probably spend 1 or 2 hours doing it a day.
It's not exactly true.
Which part?
That they're off on weekends.
Okay? Unless they have a weekend show.
There are weekend shows,
yes.
And there's a lot of great producers who do weekend shows. And famously, I was doing one of my VIP speaker training events, and I said to everybody in the class, I said, hey guys, I got to take a couple minutes right now because I got to make a call, but I want you all to listen. And I literally cold called a producer in front of a class and booked myself on a weekend show in Phoenix at 10 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. There's a question from Vivian Gaspar. What do you think is the best local time to reach producers, Dave?
Well, if you're talking about a morning show, then they come in, they work the graveyard shift. So they're coming in like midnight their time zone, and then they go home about 8 o'clock in the morning their time zone. So it depends on what time zone you're in. You want to catch them right when they get to work, or maybe 30 minutes after they get to work so they can have time to settle down. And usually on graveyard shift, there's nobody there. They answer the phone.
So I find that there's basically 2 times that producers work. What are those times?
Graveyard?
Okay, what are the exact times?
Midnight to 8 a.m.
Midnight to 8 a.m. is one. And what's another common time when you would say, you'd say, hey, when does that producer work? What's another time, time range?
It would be your normal 9 to 5, but a little earlier, maybe 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. to 8 or 9 hours later.
What about like 4 a.m. to noon? You find any of those?
4 a.m. to noon. If I do, I don't remember.
Okay.
It's all fuzzy.
I found some that were like 4 a.m. to 2, that kind of stuff.
It depends on if it's a morning show or a mid-morning show or a noon show. You know, it just depends.
Yeah. All right, so in 1 month of making calls, 3 or 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, you booked 14 appearances on different shows all over the country.
I actually booked 12, but 2 of the shows let me do 2 segments.
They didn't let you do, they asked you to do, and you accepted their invitation.
They liked the morning segment. Would I come back for the afternoon segment? The other one said, you know, we want to do 2 segments right here. The first segment, we want to just get to know you. And then the second segment, we want to talk about your book and talk about, you know, stuff like that.
Yep.
So that was a 10-minute segment. 2 5-minute segments.
Let's see what we can do here. Cut the glare. How's that?
A little higher on that one.
Almost?
There you go. See? A little higher. Here, see this. See, watch. Right there.
All right, well, we'll be there in a minute. Oh, I know what we'll do.
I look like I have a halo.
Yeah, for a little while longer, he's got a halo, but we'll take it out right now.
How did you gather up contact info to call? How did I gather up contact? Well, Clint was gracious enough to share his Rolodex with us. I mean, the guy is amazing. Who would do that?
Part of what you get in Celebrity Launchpad is you get my entire personal Rolodex. Every station in the top 100 markets, it's all there. And if you're interested, those of you who are looking, who aren't aware of what we're doing, you may want to check out GuaranteedCelebrity.com.
So I printed out like 30 pages of names, phone numbers, addresses.
Yeah, make my Rolodex your Rolodex. So that's basically what I suggest you do. You really have to. I mean, I give it to you as an Excel spreadsheet to do with as you want, as long as you don't sell it. Now, Rough Cut says he's got a book coming out next week. That's good. You know, I mean, Dave enrolled in Celebrity Launchpad at the end of July.
The book hadn't even come out yet. It was coming out. And that's what I did it at Harvard. I just made a picture and put it on a book. And I says, you know, here's my book.
So, but my point is like, you don't want, you know, it doesn't matter when your book comes out. It really doesn't matter. However, I personally am releasing my book on January 1st. I have a new book coming out called Speaking Game, and it's how to get more of everything by being a better speaker. And I am going to be releasing that book on January 1st so that it's a new book. It's a 2018 book. So, you know, Rough Cut, if it's possible for you to adjust that release date, I think you'd be better off releasing that book January 1st. To, you know, make it a fresher book for all of 2018. That's just my opinion, but I think it's a pretty good opinion. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to be releasing my book on January 1st. It'll be available for pre-sale. It's not even available for pre-sale yet. But stay tuned for more of these Facebook Lives and you'll hear more about that book. But in the meantime, let's go back to talking about TV and about Dave's success. So let's see here. Know when to call. Good. Be disciplined and make the calls. There's a lot of discipline here. How hard is this really, Dave? I mean, it
depends on if you're a disciplined person. You know, I have a business. I have a gas station. So, you know, I've got a lot of discipline. But I can be lazy too. But when I'm motivated, I'm not lazy.
Yeah. Now, really, he is an ideal client. He has a business that's successful, that throws off cash, and that allows him to pursue his real passion, which is helping caregivers. Tell us about your passion for caregivers, Dave. Tell us all about that. They don't know.
21 years ago, my beautiful wife, Charlene, God bless her, had a massive stroke that left her severely speech impaired, paralyzed on the right side. And at that moment, I mean, I became... had something in common with 4 famous celebrities: Hillary Clinton, Queen Latifah, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and Henry Winkler. All caregivers. So now I travel the country doing my pitch, speaking on CBS, NBC, ABC, Fox News, just sharing people my important message, how to prevent your loved one's illness or disease from actually killing you.
Yeah, very nice.
And I also share my message of caregiving. I speak about it constantly. I just shared the stage with Suzanne Summers at Harvard.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
And a lot of people don't understand that the 65 million caregivers out there, 30% of them will actually die before their loved ones do. And then the lucky ones who don't die, well, they're just going to need a caregiver for the rest of their lives. So this is a message that everybody needs to hear. And there's 3 things that caregivers can do to actually prevent their loved one's illness or disease from actually killing them.
Hey, were you always able to talk about this the way you do right now? Because that was very nice. Fluid, professional, informative, entertaining.
No, I needed...
Were you born like that?
I don't know if I was born like that, but when I practice and when somebody's directing me and I've got a winning script in my hand, I just memorize it. Because, you know, I used to say I have Swiss cheese for memory, and every now and then I hit a hole, and there's like, because I'm a member of Toastmasters, and every now and then I would hit a memory hole, but I've learned how to, you know, work it so that people don't know that I know what I say. I can.
Well, let me ask you this. How has 13 television appearances impacted your ability to perform and do what you just did right there?
It's like you're always ready, you know, and it's great. It's affected my speaking for the better. My Toastmaster speeches are better. And it's almost like taking an improv class, because improv teaches you to think on your feet, you know, so that when you don't have a thought, something comes in, or you can make something up, or you can just do a little song and dance and it makes, this is part of the show.
Yeah, I think it's done a lot for him. And for those of you who are part of our Celebrity Launchpad community, you could go into the members area and check out early editions where he was on webinars, fumbling through what he just did like nothing. Because if you want to be a better speaker, a better performer, a better leader, a better promoter, a better doer of whatever you do, if you want to be better at it, go on TV, and then you'll be performing like this guy. He's doing great. And after this weekend, after Celebrity Launchpad, where I'm going to be doing a lot of on-camera coaching of you, see what happens is during this weekend, he's going to be pitching to my friends who are TV producers in cities all across America, including Los Angeles, Chicago, Washington, D.C., Phoenix, Arizona. Right there, I just named off
all those cities.
You are going.
Yeah.
And you're going to be on TV in a lot of them.
Because I live in L.A. I should be there.
I'm 100% with you, man.
And I got family in New York. I got to be there.
You got to be on Dr. Oz is where you got to be. That's really where you got to be. And that's going to happen because just like Kellyanne Petrucci she was on in Chicago, then she came back to Celebrity Launchpad her second time, and then she got on in Los Angeles, and then from LA, she went right to Dr. Oz.
Wow.
So that's how it goes. LA TV is the big time. If you can get on in LA, that's the big time. That's real showbiz, folks. That's where all the biggest showbiz people go, on these shows.
And I've been on in LA. I sent you a clip. Remember that?
Yes. That was good. You should count that. That was a TV appearance. Yes, that was your 14th television appearance. You've done 14. You booked 14 yourself. You've done 14, and you have a 15th one that's coming up. How did you get that one? That was a different kind of TV appearance.
They called me.
They called you
because they know that I bought a certain kind of vehicle that had a recall on it. And because, we're doing a story on recalls and how the auto companies are trying to rip people off by not paying for the recall. And that's exactly what happened to me. I had a recall. I took it to the dealer, and they didn't want to fix it. So I told them my story. They came down to my house, and they did a whole segment on recalls. And so they made a phone call. Next thing I know, Hyundai is calling me up, telling me to come down and get my free recall.
How did they find you? Why were they just calling you?
Because I had just bought a car, and I used that Carfax thing. And Carfax, I guess, talks to them, or they talk to Carfax, and somehow they got my name, and they called me up.
Hey, you never know how it's going to happen. Like, for example, if you go on my media page, on clintarthur.tv, click on the button that says media, one of my appearances is on ABC Los Angeles. And what happened was I saw this woman doing a stand-up. She was a reporter on the street. She was doing like, live from Sunset Boulevard, this is whatever my name is, coming to you talking about this for Action News. And I go up to her and I'm like, hey, what are you talking about? And she goes, I'm talking about this new thing, an ordinance by the city that is going to allow landlords not to have to do certain things. And I'm like, well, look, I happen to own this building that you're standing in front of right here. This is my building. And I was wearing my Harvard Business School sweatshirt, right? Not that I graduated from Harvard, but I've spoken there many times to the Business School Students Club.
I spoke there once.
To the Entrepreneurship Students Club of Harvard Business School. I've spoken there 3 times. And I'm wearing this sweatshirt. And I said to the lady, I go on TV all the time. I've done 80-something television appearances. And if you want, I'd be happy to hook you up with some good sound bites. And so I did an interview with her, and after it was over, she's like, oh man, what you said was just gold. I'm like, I told you I was good. So look, that's exactly what he says he did. He says that he happened to be interviewed for a story about something else.
And if you can talk about zombies, I could talk about recalls. Sure.
Yeah, why not? I mean, you own a gas station, for God's sake.
True.
Look, man, you as a gas station owner, anytime there's anything going on about like oil prices or gas shortages,
always wants to know about oil prices.
You should be on TV talking about that shit all the time.
I could do a segment on that.
You definitely should.
Okay.
You should do a segment. I tell you, man, here's a whole nother thing. It's like, these are like 5 secrets gas station owners don't want you to know. How about that? Are there 5 of those?
Sure.
What are the 5?
Well,
I'm ready.
You don't have to spend the extra money on premium gasoline like the auto dealers tell you.
Don't buy premium?
Right. Don't away your money.
Don't buy premium.
If your car does not ping on regular, then it's okay.
Okay. What's the second secret gas station owners don't want you to know?
That don't drive miles and miles trying to save 2 cents a gallon because you're burning it up in gas.
Okay, what's the third secret?
The third secret. Oil companies do not tell us how much to price. It's up to the individual dealer. I ask that all the time. Hey, do you have to price, whatever you want, or do they tell you what to price?
So you set your own prices.
Yeah. And that's why the gas station down the block could be 30 cents different than the one down their block.
Okay. What else?
So shop around, but don't waste money.
Okay. What else? What else could help car owners that gas station owners don't want them to know?
Well, by checking the pressure in your tires, you can actually save gas mileage.
Okay. So, how's a good way to say that?
Get better gas mileage by making sure that you have enough air in your tires. I don't know.
Okay.
I have to work on that one.
Check tire pressure. All right. To save money. What else?
Synthetic oil costs like 3 or 4 times more than regular oil. Does it really pay to put synthetic oil in your tank? It used to be you can go 25,000 miles on it. Now they're changing it just the same time. So in my opinion, I'm an auto mechanic and I don't use synthetic oil.
Don't pay extra to get synthetic oil. Okay, what else? One more.
5.
Give me one more because I didn't like that one about setting your own prices.
Okay, let me think about this one. I'd say that when people complain about the price of gas, I remind them that California, where I'm from, just raised the gas tax. We're paying 42 cents excise tax, and the feds are charging like half of that, 19 cents, and then there's sales tax in California. So you got almost $1 a gallon going to the government. So I don't know if that's helpful.
Well, one more thing that's going to help, like this is a money-saving secret that gas station owners don't want you to know.
A money-saving secret that gas stations don't want you to know. I'll have to get back to you on that one.
All right. Well, stay tuned because we're going to hopefully come up with the 5th secret that gas station owners don't want you to know. Okay. But let's go back to getting on TV. He said, hustle, pick a goal and proclaim it, smile, do the work, talk fast, be professional, practice, script it out, no extra words, make the calls, be disciplined, know when to call, memorize your script. What else is involved in succeeding in getting on TV? What other elements?
You mean there's more, huh?
There's a lot. What other things helped you to book yourself on 14 shows and do 15 appearances with 14 bookings?
Well, like I said, after a while, you become pretty confident that you can do it. In fact, I had to stop myself because I could have booked another 20. But my wife is disabled, and she wants me home some of the time. And so she said, that's enough. Okay, so I would fill up a whole week, and then I'd make sure I was home for a week. Then I'd book up another week, then I'd make sure I was home a week.
Good.
So basically, you just have to pick the areas that you want. And then after you get one booking in a city, forget the other areas, start calling around the cities so that you can make that trip, that plane fare and the hotel worthwhile, because I had 4 bookings in a city, and so each day I would rent a car or an Uber and I would go to the next television station. So that really brings the cost of traveling down when you can book 4 or 5 in one city.
What is the cost of going on TV, Dave?
Roughly $400 per show when you average it out and you figure it out.
Yeah, that's what I say. Altogether, if
Would
you
I
do this
pay
smart,
$400 to be on television? Heck yeah.
you don't pay the TV shows.
No,
you
no.
pay to
Just
travel and go to
Yeah.
a hotel. You got to eat anyway, but the travel and hotel is going to be about $400 per appearance. Especially if you can put it into a tour and you can hit. And this way, you're not flying home every
The
single
more
time.
you do, the cheaper it gets.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, that's exactly what I say, and that's really good to know. Let's see. All right, good. Pick targets. What he said was pick targets and focus on the area. That's really smart. Now, here's something that a lot of people get hung up on. They're like, oh, well, how am I going to get from here to there? And how am I going to get from this part of the country to the next part of the country?
Book it first, worry about it later.
Hell yeah. Just say yes. Now, let's talk about that. When they would say, oh, we're interested, would they ever just book you right there on the spot over the phone?
Some do.
And how do you know when to, how does that go? They're like, tell me how the conversation would be. I'll be you, all right? And that's what I've got. Do you think this would resonate with your audience, Miss Producer?
Yeah, I really do. He says, when are you available? And so now I'm panicking.
That's a good question.
So I had my calendar ready.
You had your calendar ready.
I had my calendar ready because the first time I didn't.
Right.
And I says, can I call you back? And I did, and you yelled at me for that. He says, never hang up the phone without a booking date.
It's hard to get them on the phone. Why would you let them go without getting a confirmed appearance?
Yeah. So fortunately, I was able to get them back on the phone because they gave me their private number.
That's lucky. That's lucky. So, all right, so tell me how it goes when they say, all right, yes, we want you on the show.
So I've got my calendar in front of me. I've already decided in advance which weeks I'm going to book and which weeks I'm not going to book. And so I'll say, okay, well, this week I'm good. I'm going to be in Atlanta, and I'm free on this date and this date, the date before and the date after my already booking. And I'll give them a choice. Which one do you want me on? And so they'll look and say either, yeah, that date's good, or no, that week's not good. Then I say, okay, well, then 2 weeks after that, I'll be, so-and-so. And so we just nail it down eventually.
Great. So you're offering them dates.
Yes.
And
they're usually flexible if you're talking about, 3 or 4 weeks in advance. If you're trying to get a booking like the next day or the next week, it's a little more difficult. Many of them are already booked.
Book 3 to 4 weeks in advance. Is that the sweet spot?
Yes, because you want to get the best airline price at least 3 weeks in advance anyway.
Yeah, you book in advance to get cheap airfares. Yeah. That's why I'd like to book it 30 days out for, at least.
Yeah.
Now, what about airlines? Which airline do you fly?
I love American because I like to get the extra leg room in their emergency seats, and only American seems to have 3 seats missing on those emergency doors. Some don't. And, if I'm going to spend 5 hours on a flight and then another 3 hours, on the connection, I want to be comfortable.
Okay, now, personally, I find anytime I fly any airline besides Southwest, I regret it because my plans change a lot. So I always try to fly
Do they
Southwest
let you
Airlines.
cancel?
Oh yeah, Southwest.
Really?
You can change, you can cancel, no penalty. The only difference is because you may be changing during a period that's closer to the date that you want to travel, you may have to pay a higher fare
Are they
because you're
booked
close.
seats or no?
They're
First
open
come, first
seating,
serve. Okay.
first come, first serve. However, if you cancel or change your flight, you get full refund, no penalty. So that's good. You also get to check 2 bags. And I know a lot of people don't like to fly Southwest because there's no first class. But for me, the flexibility is more important because I find every time I book any flight that is not on Southwest Airlines, every time I end up losing the flight, everything that I paid.
Really?
Yep.
You change your mind often?
It's
Something
not that
comes
I
up?
change my mind, it's that something comes up and I have to be someplace else. Every time.
Well, that actually happened here in Atlanta because I had just booked my flight for Atlanta to be here today, but all of a sudden I get a call from Savannah, Georgia. They says, we can have you on the 14th, which is yesterday. And I said, okay, hesitantly. I was just going to make it happen, so they charged me $200 to change the flight, and then I booked it 2 days earlier, and then I rented a car and I drove 3.5 hours from Savannah to Atlanta. But I did get to eat at Paula Deen's restaurant, which was worth it. I had fried green tomatoes for the first time, and now I'm a fan.
That's what's called celebrity name dropping right here, and I encourage that. It makes it much more interesting. Well, tell us about Paula Deen's restaurant. What was it like? Famous Paula Deen.
First of all my family is extremely jealous. One of my daughters has it on her bucket list to go there, and I was there. And it was within walking distance of my hotel, so I walked over there, and I looked at the menu, and I had fried chicken, I had fried okra, I had fried fish tacos, and I had fried something else. I don't even remember what it was, but it was good.
Fried bean tomatoes.
Yes, thank you. So it was all fried, and I don't know how much weight I'm going to gain when I get back, but it was worth it, and I'm going to do it again.
Hey, there's a reason why these celebrity chefs are on TV the way they are.
Oh, and I gave the waiter my book, and I signed it, Paula, so sorry I missed you, blah, blah, blah. I says, would you make sure Paula gets this? And she says, absolutely. We have a whole box of stuff for her.
Oh, fantastic. You never know. You never know. You never
Does
know.
she still have a show?
Paula, she's been...
Yeah, she had some trouble.
She had some trouble. But she'll come back. They all come back. I mean...
Well, the restaurant was very busy.
Yeah.
Very, very busy. She's making a lot of money in that restaurant.
Yeah, well, that's what happens. These people are great chefs. And even though they may not have their show on for a while, they always come back.
She's a celebrity. She'll always be a celebrity.
Yeah, exactly. All right, good. Book 3 to 4 weeks in advance. All right, good. And now let's talk about what has happened for you since this whole process started happening for you. And look, it's been very recent. Dave started booking himself on these shows in September, right?
Yeah.
Like end of August, beginning of September, I would say.
September was the booking.
Was I still in Hawaii when you started booking yourself?
Yeah, I think so. You went right after Harvard. So September was the booking month, and October was the appearance month, and so it went so fast. It was like a whirlwind.
Now, why were you appearing on TV in October? Why that month?
Because that's when the bookings were. It was 30 days in advance.
Okay, good enough.
And into November too.
Into November.
Yeah.
What was November?
November, I only had one, which is Savannah, Georgia.
You should have had more.
I should have had more, but I reached my limit, and I purposely stopped.
Yeah.
Because you said I only needed 10 to break the record of Veronica Gray.
Oh.
And I got 11.
Oh.
And then I stopped, but the calls kept coming in because I had a lot of seed out there. Then I got number 12, number 13, and number 14. So.
Okay, so what he's talking about there is, see, Veronica Gray was my first student. And Veronica Gray enrolled in Celebrity Launchpad. No, she just enrolled. She just bought my box set on October 14th. On October 19th, she sent me her first segment proposal, which was ripping off one of mine. My segment was can you actually lose weight by adding butter to your popcorn? Hers was, can you actually lose weight by eating Halloween candy? And on October 21st, she booked her first appearance with that segment. Then she booked 2 more. She did her first appearance on October 29th, 30th, 31st. And she did, all totaled, 10 appearances. She booked 10 appearances in her first month of booking herself on TV. She never even came to the training until years later, after she had already been on the Today Show, after she had already done 47 television appearances. She came to Celebrity Launchpad. Okay? But she was the one who, like, just booked herself on 10 shows in the first month of doing these bookings. This is what he's referring to. Okay, so now you've booked yourself on all these shows. Tell us about the experience of going on all these shows. Was it scary?
It was at first, but I just remembered the videos that I'd watched, you know, the beforehand, back behind the scenes, he called it. And I think the first show, I had my wife on with me because it was local. You know, she doesn't like to come on these others because the schedule was too grueling, you know, one city to the next. And it was over like a minute later, even though it was a 4-minute segment. All of a sudden he said, well, thank you. And I said to myself, but I didn't finish. I still got more stuff to say. And, you know, I didn't say that out loud, but it made me realize that he's asking me questions and I'm like an idiot. I'm answering his questions, which has nothing to do with my segment. And so the next one, I realized whatever they're going to ask me, I'm just going to answer it with what I want to say. And so that went much better. So he'll ask one question, I'll answer another question. Yeah, you know, I'll try to make it transcend that, but you know, I've got to say what I got to say, you know, regardless. So I'm in control of the segment, like Clint said. Don't let them control your segment. If you go on my website and you watch that first Palm Springs segment, everyone thought it was great. Oh, it was great. What's the matter with it? You know, I only got to say half of what I needed to say. That's what was the matter with it.
Well, that's one of the things that I talk about in my speaker training. Again, I have a new book coming out soon called Speaking Game. And one of the things I say, thank you, Dean, appreciate you very much. One of the things I say is, don't stop. Nobody knows you made a mistake. Here, all these people are saying, oh, Dave, you did such a great job on NBC Palm Springs. And he's thinking to himself, no, I didn't. And I'm looking at the segment and I'm thinking, no, he didn't, because I know what's supposed to be in the segment. Only he and I know what's supposed to be there. So that's why.
That never happened again. That was just a one-time thing, and that's how you learn.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one way to learn. Look, you think you've seen a lot of TV shows, right? You've watched a lot of TV. How hard could it possibly be, right? To be great on TV. But it's not quite so easy. Yeah. It takes practice and it takes experience.
And you never know what to expect because every host, every anchor is different. Some will be very obedient and do what you say, ask the questions you want them to say. Some will ask questions that are just off the wall, and you got to bring it back somehow. Some will ask you the questions, but in the wrong order, and that kind of messes you up. So you got to really plan for the worst. Prepare for the best, plan for the worst.
It helps if you really know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because you can switch around, and the order doesn't matter, and that takes practice.
Practice, rehearsal, memorization. You really have to go beyond memorization. We have a question here from Ted. Once you book a station, what is the attraction to the other local stations to book you during the same trip? Is it that you've been pre-approved by the first booking? What do you think?
And I asked you that question. I says, why would another station want me on their show since their competitor just had me? They would be repeating the same segment. And you remember what you told me?
What did I tell you?
You said, no, it just adds credibility. If they did it, they want to do it too. You know, it's like, me too.
Here's the way I really believe that this works. When you are on a TV show in a city, you're the most famous person in the city that day.
It bumps my book sales. Every time I'm on a show, book sales go up. So my editor, not my editor, my publisher says, Dave, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. It's working.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. When you are on a show in a city, you're the most famous person in that city that day. So why wouldn't another show want to have the most famous person in the city on their show? That's really all it is. I say, if you're not getting booked on a show, there's only two reasons you're not getting booked. The first reason you're not getting booked is because you're not Whoopi Goldberg. In other words, you're not famous. But if you're fixing that problem by being the most famous person in the city that day, boom, you just fixed that city.
Yeah, and it helps if it's like November and it's Family Caregiver Month too. You have a reason. Or,
Timely
or
Hook.
Breast Awareness Month. Or whatever,
Timely Hook. That's what they call that. So let me see. We're up to 16.
Oh, good. I got another one.
16 timely segments. Hey, look, Dean, I know you're making fun that you have to know what you're talking about. You don't have to know what you're talking about. I've done plenty of segments where I really didn't know anything about what I was talking about. Like the first time I was on ABC Chicago doing my very first cooking demonstration. I didn't practice. I didn't rehearse. I'm not a chef. I just wanted to promote my butter, so I did popcorn and I made some shit up. And there I was, and I had to do a cooking demo for the first time, not what I would advise, on ABC 7. So you don't have to know what you're talking about, but if you do know what you're talking about, it makes the whole thing a lot better. So there you go.
And what do you know about zombies? I mean, you do the zombie thing.
Yeah, what do I know about zombies? Really, what do I know about the presidents? I just make all this stuff up. And hopefully you rehearse it before you go and do it live on a TV show. All right. So you would go on TV, and the first time you did it, you say it just got away from you. The second time and after that, you tried to stick closer to the script.
Yeah.
What did you learn about yourself in this process, Dave?
I'm doing stuff that I never thought I was capable of doing. I'm having confidence that I never thought I would have. Like I said, I'm an introvert. I was insecure for most of my teen years. I didn't have the courage to ask the girls out and stuff like that. And finally, when I was 18 years old, the head cheerleader liked me, and that was a big boost to my confidence because all of a sudden, everybody liked me too because I was associated with a celebrity, the head cheerleader, the head varsity cheerleader. And the same thing's kind of happening here. All of a sudden they see me with a picture of Suzanne Summers sharing the stage. That made me famous right then and there. Everybody wants to know, oh, yeah. And then now I'm on ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox. I'm even more famous now. And somehow people are impressed with celebrity attachment. I don't know why, but they are. And so I'm kind of a celebrity as well. I go in, oh, can I get your autograph before you become too famous, or wow, you're just kicking butt. Wow, you're on fire, just my children tell me they're proud of me, my employees tell me they're proud of me, strangers who don't even know me tell me they're proud of me. So it's really a boost to your confidence, it's a boost to your self-image, which everybody's self-image could use a boost because we all have been damaged through childhood and all of that. We all have issues. Everybody's dealing with something. And this just feels good. Wouldn't you agree, Clint?
Oh, I think it's a lot of fun. I think going on TV is a lot of fun.
It is fun.
Why is it fun, Dave? Why do you think it's fun?
Well, because it's new, it's different, it's an adventure. People actually act like they care what you have to say. They treat you like you're important. They treat you very nice. They treat you like you're somebody. And it's always nice. Who wouldn't want to be treated importantly or like you're somebody?
Why do you say it's like an adventure?
Because you never know what to expect. Like I said, every anchor is throwing a different, it's like baseball. They're going to throw you a curveball, then they're going to throw you a fastball, then you just have to know what ball to hit out of the park so that it's a home run.
What else is an adventure about this? I mean, not knowing what to expect when you get to the show. I mean, look, you go to a TV show, and the producer has invited you to come on to talk about whatever you've agreed to talk about. And you know what you expect. But then what happens when you're there can be completely different. Am I right?
Yes. And you brought up something before, say we have a gas station. All of a sudden I'm starting to think, wow, I could do a different segment. They don't always have to be caregiver segments. I'm starting to think of different things that I can do, and I know I can pick up the phone and pitch it. So it's like I don't even need you anymore.
Well, look, you could do. See, folks, this is the ultimate tool for entrepreneurs Because if you have something you want to promote, or if you have some ideas you want to work out, do it on TV. Call up a show, book yourself on the show, and once you start going on these shows over and over, then you become friends with the producers, and then you call them up and you say, hey, I really want to come on and talk about this. I got like 5 great talking points. These are them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do you think? And they're like, wow, that sounds good. When do you want to come on the show? That's the way it goes. And it allows you an opportunity to take an idea and transform it from just a thought to something real, because you have a 3-minute clip on ABC News talking about that. So I love the long-term, far-reaching leverage it all provides for years to come. I still leverage stuff I did decades ago. 100%. I'm still using clips today that I shot in 2010. 2009, when I was on Iron Chef America in 2009. I still use that clip all the time. And you can continue to use this stuff forever, and it just gives some real credibility to everything that you're doing. So you're right, now you're starting, like Dave, here we are, we're at the beginning of Celebrity Launchpad. You've been doing TV now for about 2 months. You've been traveling all across the country. It never occurred to you to do something about a gas station, did it? Never. Even though you were on talking about your Hyundai that you bought as a salvage title, I guess that was like a project.
I sent it to you as a joke, saying, "Hey, Clint, I was on LA NBC."
You were.
What did you think?
You were on LA NBC. You were on NBC LA. That was freaking awesome, man. That's good. So my point is that now you're starting to have your mind opened up as to the possibilities. And this weekend at Celebrity Launchpad, I'm going to teach you dozens and dozens of ways to make more money, have more impact, have more influence, and to fulfill on your destiny, whatever that may be. Even if you think you know what your destiny is, maybe that's not it. Maybe you have a bigger destiny and you don't even know what it is yet. I'm going to teach you how to find your destiny. I believe that the way to find your destiny is on TV. And I'm going to teach you how to do that so that you can really fulfill on your raison d'etre, your reason for being on this planet, and fulfill all of your greatest possibilities as an entrepreneur, an author, a speaker, a coach, a consultant, a person, a man, a woman, a father, a brother, a sister, a husband, whatever you may be in your own specific circumstances. TV will help you to do it. And I will show you the formula right now. I'm going to show you the formula. You don't even know anything about this yet, Dave. I'm going to show it to you. E equals
MC2.
E equals MC squared, right? That's the formula. E equals MC squared. All right. But I say E equals MT squared. See this one right here? That's the secret for getting on television. Energy equals more television and more television. E equals MT squared. Now, those of you who've ever taken calculus, you know that if E equals MT squared and E equals MC squared, then MT squared equals MC squared. It just makes sense. So here, MT squared is television. Here, this is everything in the universe. Mass, like matter, right? Energy equals matter. That's the equation. So what I say is, if you want more matter, do more television. If you want to matter more, do more television. However you want to talk about it, television is the answer to anything that you could want, including discovering your true purpose on this earth and making more money, having more impact, having more influence, more satisfaction, and becoming all that you can be. I want to go back to talking about the personal things that you have benefited from. You said that personally you have more confidence, that your kids, employees, and strangers have been appreciating you more. How does it feel when your kids, what have your kids been saying to you? And how does that feel?
The very words, Dad, I'm so proud of you. And, I have elderly children. I mean, my youngest is 40, and the next one is 50, and the next one's like 55. So, I've got 7 grandchildren. And I can't remember the last time I've heard those words from them.
Have you ever before?
Maybe not. As children, they don't say, I'm proud of you, Daddy. They just say, I love you. But no, I don't think if they have, please forgive me, but I don't remember. But I remember this one, and I'll probably always remember it.
How does that feel?
It feels wonderful. And my wife, she can't talk, but she can communicate non-verbally, and she said it as well.
Really?
Yeah. So it's great.
That's a beautiful thing. Then you also said it gives your self-image a boost.
Yeah.
How has that manifested itself in your life? What's been the impact of boosting your self-image?
When you have a good self-image, a healthy self-image, you're not trying to go and prove yourself to anybody. I don't have to have a big head. I can be humble. I want to be humble. I always want to be humble. I always want to not have a big head, because I think really famous people are cool people. They're not bragging about how great they are. Let other people. I mean, it says in Proverbs in the Bible, it says, "Don't tell anyone how great you are. Let others say how great you are." And so it just makes you humble, because I know that I don't deserve any of this, and it's not me. It's God. It's you. It's the formula.
Many people would say,
Yeah,
it's the formula. It's the formula.
I give all credit to God, because that's where all things come from.
It's the formula. Interesting. I asked the guy, look, this is real, right? This is unrehearsed. Did I script any of this?
No. We're going way too long for this to be
It's
scripted.
just way off the cuff. I said, hey, tell us about how your self-image boost has impacted you. And he says it's made me more humble. That's what he said. That's tremendous.
Right.
And then he said it was...
Because you don't have to prove anything to anybody. You know who you are. You know what you're capable of. So you just kind of Joe Cool,
Speaking about humble, I'll just happen to have an interesting photo here.
You have a humble photo?
I do have a humble photo. I have a photo from Vegas with Mike Tyson.
Oh, Mike Tyson.
And
you look like you still got your ear.
Yeah, I still got my ear. Where is the photo with Mike Tyson? Later, please.
You have one with Mick Jagger, too.
I don't have the photo with Mick Jagger. I'm waiting on that photo to arrive with Mick Jagger.
They wouldn't let you take it with your phone.
They would not let me take it with my phone. You could not have anything in your hands. Okay?
I have this little pen that's a camera. And you click the button. They would never have known.
Oh, man, I want that.
They call it the spy pen.
You know what? I screwed up, and I should have done a lot of things that I didn't do. But I'm telling you, when you do these things, when you do these high-pressure situations where you're meeting giant celebrities...
Hey, what was I thinking?
It's not easy. It really is not easy. So, where is my Mike Tyson photo? Come on, Mike, where are you? I think it's in my favorites. It's got to be in my favorites. But it's a very good story. Listen, the reason I mention this is because I said to Mike, Mike, what's the most important thing you ever learned?
What did he say?
He said, stay humble. I mean, no hesitation. No hesitation whatsoever. Stay humble. That's what the guy said.
I was at my mastermind last week with Craig Duswalt, and he asked me to come up to the stage, and he never does that. He looks humble there. He'd have to be humble with all he's been through.
Right? Okay, so what happened at your mastermind that you were going to say?
Well, first of all, I walked through the door. I was a little late, and someone came up to me afterwards and says, Dave, I had to look twice because I didn't know if it was you or not, because you just were different. You were walking different. You were looking different. And you had this, your head was held high, and oh my gosh, I think it's all the television you've been doing. So Craig asked me to go up there, and I was up there for like 15 minutes, and we were just talking about what I've been going through, my international media tour that he called it, promoting my book. And he just started asking questions, what's it like, and how do you put everything you want to say into like 3 minutes, 4 minutes? And it was great just sharing, because he had never, apparently I was never important enough to go to the stage.
How long you been in that mastermind?
4 years. 4 years.
4 years in the mastermind, never called up to the stage.
Right. Not until I met you.
Wow, congratulations on that.
Thank
But look, that shows you are making it happen. And
they're noticing. Whatever's happening, they're noticing.
Do you feel different? Do you feel like, your messaging or your product or anything really has changed?
I feel like the same person, but I feel like I'm a new, improved version.
Mm-hmm.
Like on television, new and improved. Clean's better.
Yeah, you are on television, new and improved. You are new and improved on TV.
I just want to stay humble and just have it all work,
Good. Well, look, that's the great part about doing what we're doing at the age that we're doing it, is that we have
spring chickens.
We have a level of
experience.
We have a level of maturity. That's the word I was looking for. And we hopefully will be able to keep our feet on the ground. And by the way, you should keep your feet flat on the ground.
Thank you.
Okay? Because this is an interview. And you'll be able to maintain your equilibrium and not let your own PR go to your head. That's really important.
Once you start believing this stuff, it's over.
Well, it's not over, but you can really seriously look, I have seen people turn into prima donnas just like that. I have seen people let this stuff go to their head just like that. And, canceling bookings. Like, I don't want to do that one. You never cancel a booking. It's like I make it easy for you to book yourself on TV, but this is not easy. Nobody on this webinar knows how to do this, except for people who've come to Celebrity Launchpad, and only a couple of them have ever booked themselves off cold calls, because I make it just like shooting fish in a barrel. You'll see. You come to Celebrity Launchpad, you're going to go home with 8-10 bookings, like just from these couple days. Easy. At least 8-10 bookings, Dave. But that's because I make it so easy. And unfortunately, these people haven't done the work. They haven't made the cold calls. They haven't gotten up early. They haven't been disciplined, like you say. They haven't committed to it. They haven't proclaimed a goal like being on Dr. Oz and gone after it and made it happen, except for Tracy Herbert, who came here and said, I'm going to be on Dr. Oz. You watch. I'm going to be on Dr. Oz. You watch. And she was. A year and a half later, she was on Dr. Oz. But she had the ultimate commitment. She came to Celebrity Launchpad, then she stepped up to Titanium. I went with her to appearances on shows. Then she came and spoke at Harvard. Then she went to VIP Extreme Speaker Training in Hawaii. I mean, she did a lot. And it all adds up, because the stuff I do, the stuff that I offer my clients, the stuff I have my clients do, it really changes you. I find that in life, certain experiences change you. Has this media tour changed you, Dave?
Absolutely.
The media tour is the key of Celebrity Launchpad. You want to find out who you are, what you're all about, what your purpose is, go on a media tour. You want to find out why you're doing this, what is this really all about, what am I really made of? Can I really do something? Can I accomplish something? Do you feel a sense of accomplishment, Dave?
Wow, absolutely.
You want, like, for me, the hardest part, like, for those of you who don't know my story, I graduated from the Wharton Business School with a 4.0 GPA in entrepreneurship, and then I found out that my father wasn't my real biological father. And it rocked my world, and I didn't know who I was anymore. So I moved out to Hollywood, started chasing the Hollywood dream. That put me behind the wheel of a taxi. I was the Wharton taxi driver for years and years and years and years and years. For 13 years, I pursued the Hollywood dream. And kids who graduated with me in high school and junior high school, I went to junior high school with John Cryer from 2.5 Men. You know, he starred right opposite Charlie Sheen in that show. I went to junior high school with Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, you know, Robert Downey Jr. Yeah. I went to junior high school with this woman, Erica Gimple, who starred as Coco in the CBS version of Fame in the series. I went to high school with a lot of players. Movers and shakers. I went to high school with this girl who was in the Beastie Boys. Had friends with all those Beastie Boys. Kate. I went to high school with players. And think about that. Robert Downey Jr. and John Cryer were my contemporaries in junior high school, and I was driving a taxi after Wharton. And that really screwed up my self-image. That really screwed up my ability to make stuff happen. My belief in my ability to make stuff happen. But this restored it. This is what restored my own belief in myself. Because here I was getting on the phone and booking myself on shows. And going on shows all over the country. And then people are coming up to me and saying, wow, Clint, you're really making it happen. You're on fire.
What did that do to your self-confidence?
Yeah, well, now I make 7 figures a year as a speaker, just talking. I just get up in front of rooms and talk. And I make 7 figures a year. And I have a thriving information marketing business. I'm going to be writing a book with Dan Kennedy, one of my great mentors. My greatest mentor of all time. I'm going to be co-authoring a book with him. That's all a result of this. I have 24 best-selling books myself. I've spoken at Harvard 3 times. I've spoken at West Point. I've led, I have authors, speakers, coaches, entrepreneurs coming from around the world, paying me thousands and thousands of dollars to work with me. And if you're interested in working with me, I suggest you go to clintarthur.tv and check out what's up, and then go to Celebrity Launchpad and apply if you want to go on TV and have these changes for yourself. Because the thing that is the best about television, to me, is that you can do this. I have a mathematical formula for how to make this happen. I have a process that has been proven on almost 700 authors, speakers, coaches, and entrepreneurs who have used my methodology and Celebrity Launchpad to book themselves on more than 3,400 television appearances that I'm aware of so far.
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
Well, it's true. Anybody can do it, including you. If you're watching this and you have a book, you want to make it happen. If you have a business you want to make happen. If you can't stand the thought of failing again as an entrepreneur and you want to make stuff happen, then come join us at Celebrity Launchpad. This is, Vivian says, Clint, you are an amazing leader, mentor, and you never cease to wow. Hey, I lead leaders. That's what's made me the leader that I am. Everyone who comes to Celebrity Launchpad in some way in their life is a leader. Many top leaders have come through here. Lisa Sasevich, a top leader in the experts industry, has graduated from Celebrity Launchpad, paid full price. Alex Mandozian, another leader in internet marketing, he paid full price plus $500. He said, look, I'm going to pay you more than what you're asking. I'm paying you $500 more than full ticket price because I think what you're asking is undervaluing what you deliver, and I want everybody to know that I paid $500 more than you asked. So Alex Mandozian, I'm delivering on that promise again. And Mike Koenigs has come to Celebrity Launchpad. He paid full price. I mean, many. Tracy Repchuk, Davin Michaels, A.G. Morishta, Tracy, like many Tracys have come, and I can't remember her last name, the one I'm thinking of. I mean, a lot. Annick Single has come to Celebrity Launchpad. A lot of leaders have come, and that's helped me to become a great leader. The networking itself is worth the price of admission, but if you're interested in doing something where you can really make it happen, then come to Celebrity Launchpad, go to guaranteedcelebrity.com and fill out the application, and we'll get to you as soon as this Celebrity Launchpad is over. I'm going to be really busy for the next couple days, over-delivering on my commitment. We commit that every single person is going to book themselves on at least 3 TV appearances, or else I give you back your entire investment plus $1,000. I have never had to do that. We have 100% success. This will be our 34th Celebrity Launchpad. Everybody gets at least 4 bookings, and the average person is going to get 7.4 bookings. This weekend, historically, I know that's what it's going to be. So if that's appealing to you, if that's something you want, go to guaranteedcelebrity.com, and click on the button that says apply and fill out the application. It takes 1 minute to fill it out. And there you go. Okay, it's not cheap, but it's worth every penny, and it's certainly underpriced for what we deliver. Even though it's a lot of money, it's underpriced for what we deliver. What else on personal level?
Hi, Margaret.
Hi, Margaret. Anything else that you want to talk about on a personal level, Dave?
No, I'm hungry.
You're hungry. All right, well, we have like 2 minutes left. Does anybody have a question that they want to ask? Does anybody have a question you want to ask? Thank you for creating Celebrity Launchpad. I was booked 9 times. Vivian Gaspar. Yep, thank you. Hey, Vivian Gaspar is hosting her own TV show. Vivian Gaspar is the host of Stop My Crisis now on Princeton Television in Princeton, New Jersey. And she's created a whole new life for herself. Anybody else have a question? We have time for one final question. Anybody have a question that you want to ask? Type it in, and we'll be happy to check you out. And I appreciate all the hearts. I really, really do. I see all those hearts coming in. Dana, I appreciate you. And I hope you've been enjoying all of my gallivanting photos all around the world, especially the pictures of Allie in her hat in Moscow. We had a lot of fun. After we met Mick Jagger, it was so super cool. After we met Mick Jagger, I was taking it one step at a time. And I find a lot of times the best way to do stuff is to just take it one step at a time. So first, I found the opportunity to donate a ton of money for this meet and greet with the Rolling Stones. And I said, all right, I'm going to do that. And it was in Arnhem, Netherlands. I didn't even know where that was. I figured it was near. Oh, Vivian's on 40 stations in 10 states to going to 23 million people with her show.
I'm impressed.
I figured Arnhem must have been near to Amsterdam. I thought I was going to fly into Amsterdam. And I remembered in the old days, it used to be cheap to fly in and out of Amsterdam. Not quite so anymore. So I looked at it, and I didn't want to fly in the day before. I wanted to have more of the celebrity lifestyle. So what I did was I booked us a ticket to go from New York to London. And we spent a few days in London, staying at a 5-star hotel. Compliments of Starwood preferred guests, paid for it all on points. That was great. We had a butler. It was lovely. We had a really nice time. Then we went to Amsterdam. We flew to Amsterdam. And we spent a couple days, and we spent a day there, and then the next day was the concert. And we go to the concert, and we're in a giant arena. We're in a giant arena. I'll show you a picture of us in the freaking arena. It was so giant. We're in the front row. I mean, that was pretty cool. Aside from the meet and greet, okay? Aside from meeting the Rolling Stones, being in the front row of this concert, it was a big, this is the concert. I will show you. This was the concert. See how giant that arena is? There's Mick Jagger walking out on the catwalk all the way in the middle. Okay, and I'll show you where we are. Show you a good picture of where we are. Well, here's Allie. Here's where we are, right in the front row. Here's me like looking over at the stage. We're like right on the rail. All right. So now we have to get to LA from the Netherlands. We had to be at a financial conference, some stupid lame ass financial conference. The concert was Sunday night. The conference we had to be there on Wednesday afternoon. All the way from the Netherlands.
You should have stayed.
We should have blown off that stupid conference. We really should. But I paid a lot of money to speak there. So I look at tickets. One-way direct, Amsterdam to LA, $2,500 per person.
Wow.
$2,500. And I'm like shopping tickets, and I notice if you go through Moscow, it's only $549 one way per person. And then I'm looking, originally I'm looking direct flights, and I'm like, stopping in Moscow? How long are you in Moscow? I found a flight that gave us an 18-hour layover in Moscow. So we got to spend a whole night and part of a day in Moscow. We saw everything. We had a great dinner. Allie got the best hat of all time. We slept. We fully enjoyed our hotel room at the 5-star hotel, the National Hotel. We dined at the best fish restaurant in Moscow. We had caviar. The only thing we didn't do was see Lenin's dead body in his glass tomb. That's all. I want to see that. I want to go back just to see dead Lenin.
You can Google it.
I want to see it. I want to see dead Lenin. But anyway, that really is the same thing as how do you go on all these shows. See, I just looked at this and I said, you know what? I want to meet Mick Jagger. I want to meet Keith Richards. I want to meet all the Rolling Stones. I want to be first row in a Rolling Stones concert. I want to have that experience. And I don't care what it's going to take. I'm just going to make it happen. And that's what going on television is all about. It's saying, I want to make this happen, and I don't care what it's going to take. I'm just going to make it happen. And here he is. He booked 14 shows and just made it happen. That's it. And that changes you on every possible level. Because now you become a person who's not concerned about logistics and details, and you become a person who's looking at the big picture. And the big picture is he's a different guy than he was. Everybody can see it. Everybody tells him. Everybody appreciates it. Everybody's proud of him. And he has done this all on his own. I've helped him as his coach, and it's been a real privilege to work with you and to participate and observe and to witness, to be a witness to what you've made happen. But you're the one who did it, Dave, and I'm very proud of you, as everyone is, and I really want to thank you for just being a great example of what is possible if you put your mind to it and take the fear out of it and just do what I say. That's one thing you haven't said in all of these notes that everybody knows has come through Celebrity Launchpad. If you just do what I tell you to do, this actually works. I still do it myself today. I book myself on shows all the time. And if you just do what I say, I just booked myself on a show December 12th in Las Vegas to promote my new book, which is coming out. Look for my new book, folks. It's called Speaking Game. And when you buy the paperback, you get the Kindle version and you get 75 minutes of video training as well. And if you buy multiple copies, there's going to be all kinds of special bonuses that you're going to want. I'm pushing. My dream. Hey, he just proclaimed he's going to be on Dr. Oz. Here's my dream. I'm going to be number 1 on the New York Times bestseller list in 2018. This has been the dream I've been pursuing for my whole life. This is the year I'm making it happen. I am, and I need your help. I really, really need your help. So please keep an eye out for the Speaking Game and get it and tell your friends, and you'll love it. It's really, really a great book that will change everything about you. But I want to end back on the note of gratitude. Dave Nassaney, thanks so much for taking an hour and a half with the people. Yeah, it's been an hour and a half. Was it fun?
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah. And thanks so much for being the tremendous example of what is possible. And congratulations on all your success.
And by the way, I'm going to be on the New York Times bestselling list as well.
Yeah! There you go. It's going to wrap it up from CNN Central, everybody. I'm Clint Arthur. This is Dave Nassaney. It's been a lot of fun. And remember, I am looking forward to seeing you on television. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.